Hi, this is Chris Stevenson with Harborside Yacht Sales. I'm at the 2019 Hartford Boat Show. Today I'm here with our 2018 Chris-Craft Launch 23. This is going to be one of my absolute favorite boats that we have in stock right now. It's a true example of just the classic Chris-Craft design. You know, some of my favorite things about this boat, one thing that sets it apart from pretty much everything else on the water today is going to be starting with the hull design. So Chris-Craft does what's called a variable degree dead rise hull, meaning that instead of having one angle until the boat starts to flare, there's actually going to be multiple angles getting shallower as you get to the keel of the boat. And what that does is make the hull design more analogous to being a curved surface than a flat surface. So obviously when you're coming down on the water, a flat surface slaps, whereas a curved surface, you know, rolls with the water and rolls with the waves, and that's what gives that Chris-Craft that soft, easy, smooth ride. You know, it's what our customers have come to love and come to expect from the boat. Again, on the outside, something they do that, you know, sets them apart. Every boat that you see on the water, white or colored, most of the time is going to be gel coated, which is fine. You know, it's a relatively inexpensive option. The issue with gel coating the outside of a boat is that it's going to fade over time, especially if it's a darker color. And since the Chris-Crafts are all a dark blue, and given the money that they ask, you know, telling our customers this boat is going to fade after a few years is just unacceptable. So what we actually do is we use an automotive grade paint on the exterior of the boat. And you can even feel right down here at the boot stripe, you can feel the lip of the paint. You can feel just how many coats they put on there. You know what that does, especially after, you know, the hull is waxed and shined, it really gives it that, you know, that Ferrari sparkling finish. And, you know, it really helps it keep that look over time and over the long run of the boat. And again, you know, the classic Chris-Craft thing is obviously going to be the teak. It's one of the first things everybody notices. They use a traditional Burmese teak. There's definitely less expensive ways to do it, but again, you know, nobody wants to sacrifice quality, especially in a boat like this. And you know, just everything about the design of the boat is what I really love. You know, like little things, everybody's going to have their nautical navigation lights. So you can put a red and a green up here, but Chris-Craft takes it a step farther. You know, they have an entirely custom designed 316L stainless steel. You know, it's a piece of jewelry, it's a piece of artwork. You know, it's not just for the function of it. They take things that the boat has to have and they make them beautiful. You know, they really just go above and beyond with everything they do. And again, with the recessed cleats all done in the highest quality stainless steel that they have. And then, you know, going back to that hull design, you see the beautiful bow flare coming up from what we talked about with the hull earlier, the beautiful flare. And then rolling back, again, back to Chris-Craft never losing their legacy, that bow flare rolling back into the tumble home aft. And the tumble home aft is what we see right here, which is how the hull actually, it curves up at the bow, and then it starts curving back in towards the transom as we get back. It's a very, very expensive design process. You know, when you're pulling a hull out of a mold, if you just have a traditional transom and it's just a straight line, you can pick it up vertically and it's really easy to do. Having the true tumble home aft makes it so that mold has to be very meticulously designed, because when this hull is lifted out, we can't come out vertically with this tumble home. It has to come out vertically and up at an angle. And that is a much more expensive process, engineering-wise, design-wise. It's much more time-consuming. But again, you know, nothing is going to be sacrificed on a boat like this. And it gives it that timeless look that you know, you're not going to see from another brand on the water today. Moving back again, you know, all real teak, the Burmese teak, the swim platform, the walk-through over the engine hatch. And I'm actually going to pop up, and we can come around the side here. I'll pop up the stairs. You can come up the stairs. Now, Chris-Craft does do a couple different teak packages. This is going to be our mid-road option. This is going to be called the Heritage Trim Edition. So this boat is all real teak on the swim platform, on the walk-through on the engine hatch, and on the gunnels. The only area that's not going to have the teak is going to be the flooring on the boat, which a lot of our customers liked. This seagrass carpeting, you know, is one less thing you have to oil. It's a little softer on the feet. It doesn't quite have the look of the teak, but different strokes for different folks. You know, again, it's all the things on the Chris-Craft. You know, it's designed to be beautiful, and you really see that when you look at the boat and you see just the ergonomics of the helm area. You know, it's not, they could have thrown on just one big single GPS for $500 and called it a helm, but they didn't. They custom designed this perforated stainless steel, you know, meshed back to inlay all of their custom designed Chris-Craft gauges into. You know, they're all going to be branded. These aren't gauges that they're, you know, they're just buying off the shelf at a marine retailer somewhere. You know, this is all stuff they're having people design and build one-off for the boat. Same is true, your custom mahogany Chris-Craft steering wheel. When you spin it, the logo stays facing you the whole time. You know, everything on the boat was designed for the boat. The bucket seats, all custom designed at the factory. They weren't bought somewhere. You know, there's just the amount of thought and the amount of time that goes into designing each boat is one thing that really stands out for me. I'm trying to think about what else I can talk about here. This particular 23 launch is going to be, you know, relatively simply laid out. You know, again, for me, when I look at it, it just keeps going back to just how beautiful the boat is. Yeah, I don't really know what more I can say on her. I guess we can go through a couple of the options. She is powered by a 6.2 liter Mercruiser 300 horsepower V8. Actually, the nice thing about Chris-Craft, this is one thing I want to point out, a standard feature on all of them, if you want to look right in there, a standard feature on every Chris-Craft is going to be the Fireboy automatic fire suppression system. Now, I know not a lot of our customers are necessarily the most interested in what's in the engine hatch. That's probably the most important thing. You know, that's something a manufacturer doesn't have to put on the boat, but by doing so, they really up the safety factor. You know, what that does, if the engine hatch at any point goes above a certain temperature, that fire suppression system is going to automatically deploy, meaning that a captain's not going to have to open a hatch and go down with a fire extinguisher. It's all going to be taken care of for him. You know, it's not just about being pretty. It's obviously we want to be safe as well. I don't know what more I can say about the boat. I mean, you know, you can really see it all. It's more about being pretty. She does have a bimini top, which I believe we saw when we went down in the engine hatch here. The bimini top stow's right here. And, you know, again, that's the difference with the Chris-Craft. Every 23-foot Bowrider that they build is going to have a bimini top. Most manufacturers just put it up and let it fold down and lay on the gunnel, and that's it. That takes way too much away from the beauty of the profile shot at this boat. So Chris-Craft builds the place to stow it right down in here, and then if we wanted to install it, I mean, it comes out, we clip it up with the stainless steel attachments. You put it up in under 5 minutes, and then you can actually operate this boat at full speed with the bimini top deployed because it's a full stainless steel construction, whereas competitors are going to be aluminum, which is something that, you know, it's obviously going to be less expensive, but it's not something that you can, you know, you can't run the boat at 50 miles an hour with an aluminum bimini top up. It's a sail and it's going to rip away. Whereas with the stainless steel construction, you know, it gives you the ability to run with that underway and get some sun protection. Yeah, I don't know what more I can say about her. She's absolutely beautiful. She's the, you know, the pinnacle example of, you know, what Chris-Craft offers and what Chris-Craft has been doing since the brand started. We're going to be at the boat show until Sunday the 20th. I'm going to encourage you guys to come down. If you can't make it then, we'll be at the New York Boat Show next week, the 23rd to the 27th. We're going to have 6 Chris-Crafts there. We'd love to see you guys there. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch.